What's going on YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yakutis and this is your review for Basketball Wives. So it seems like I'm probably going to rush through a lot just so we can get to the end because that's where all of the juiciness happened and we finally got what I've been saying that we needed to get, which was for real what happened. So well between Brandy and Malaysia. So we start off with Angel. She lets us know that, when things get heavy, she throws herself into work. That's her coping mechanism. She didn't say that, but that's literally what she was saying without saying it. And that's what some people do. Everybody has something different when they're dealing with a lot of stress. Some people turn to substance abuse. Some people turn to, overworking themselves a lot. So that's what she does. Cool. Jackie stops by the store. We find out that Angel signed a deal with the NBA to style people from the NBA, and they talk about Rockstar. He drops by with flowers, love bombing her, and all that other stuff. And yeah, they never talked about, like, there was no resolution to whatever they, created distance between themselves for. So okay, whatever. Moving on. We get British and Mama Latricia. Her ex fiance Lorenzo's in St. Louis. She's co-parenting, but she says it's hard. But her mom is, a great help and has, for the most part, been a go-between the two. While she's in LA and he's in St. Louis, she mentions they cheated on each other. They fought, which I can believe, and that's not good for either one of them to be putting their hands on each other like that. But whatever. She's ready to date, but fears Lorenzo will stalk her and and whoever she's dating, and because that's something that he's done in the past. We find out that Lorenzo is coming to town in a week so he can come and pick up his daughter. So we get Brandy, Jackie, Duffy, and British. Duffy wants to do a mixer for the single ladies. British says she's done with Lorenzo. Jackie feels that, they are meant for each other and they're not done. And this is Jackie also. Because look, we all know people tend to make other people's big storylines and whatnot. Jackie does have a history of inserting herself into other people's business because she ain't really got nothing going on. And, hey, she is now she's playing producer. Well, she's always played producer, but she's really playing producer this time around. We get Malaysia. She and the kids are back in LA. She has allowed her baby father to be with the kids and doesn't want to beg someone to take care of their responsibilities. I understand that, but you're putting yourself in a situation that you don't need to be put in because, again, you're trying to sit here and protect somebody else's image. Like, come on, that's stupid. She wants to get them out of this 2-bedroom apartment because they're used to being in the house. Like, all I'm gonna say is this: do what your funds can allow. But again, that's what she want to do. Do you, boo boo? And Malaysia says that her business has suffered. She's gained weight given all of what's going on in her life. All right. But what I am going to say is I don't know if she has been clinically diagnosed as being depressed or if she has self-diagnosed herself. But if this is a real thing, rather than just confiding in Zell about this, you need to go sit on somebody's couch and have some discussions. And if you are clinically depressed, then from there, they can set up a treatment plan for you so you won't be in this headspace. Just saying. So we get Angel, Jackie, and Jennifer. We find out that Jennifer lost her dog Gia. She's taking it hard, and because she just lost her dog, the issues that she was dealing with her mother passing away have now resurfaced. So she's dealing with that. They meet with a median slash, I think medium, I should say medium slash therapist. And Jennifer has a connection. We can actually see some genuine emotion coming from her, something that we don't get often. And we find out that somebody might be giving her a ring in the near dear. That's what her mother is saying through the medium. So we get British and Lorenzo at a kids' gym. Dash, who is their daughter, is not fazed by his presence, which I found that to be funny, but also very telling. That so something is there. The fact that he came into the gym and nothing changed with her. It was just, oh, he's here. And because, most kids, especially if there's a connection with a parent, they're going to run up to the parent, embrace them, and all that other stuff. That didn't happen. That makes me think some things. I'm going to sip on my coffee right quick. I'm saying that because y'all can't see me. Let me see. So British brings up, Dash was testing her, early in the day. She was having a rough day. She's saying this in front. Let me just say, all of what I'm about to say is in front of the daughter, which I have an issue with. Having grown folks conversation in front of the kids, and even talking about the kid while the kid is right there. Like, come on now, look tacky. And she talks about co-parenting. Lorenzo says, their main priority is that no matter who is laying it down on her and whoever he's laying it down on. And I'm looking like, okay, sir, now that is very, very inappropriate to be having in front of your daughter. I'm like, ain't this some? I'm like, okay, I don't know what to say. Lorenzo is a character, is all I'm gonna say. Excuse me. British says that there should be boundaries when it comes to them dating. Lorenzo doesn't want any man around his child, and British is like, I don't want no women's around my children. And you've at least had 4 women around our daughter, and I've only had 1. And I was actually dating this person, and he was talking about I needed a babysitter. I'm like, okay, so he just think everything is funny. But part of it is also he knows that he can say certain things that is going to get her go and is going to have her come about a character and come about her body. He's doing it intentionally, and she's allowing him to do it. British says the reason for the breakup is he wants to dictate her life, but when she needs him, he's not around. I believe this is one of the reasons, because I think she also mentioned something else, and somebody's ringing my doorbell. I shall return. Okay, and I'm back. What I was saying is, I believe this is one of the reasons. I believe she said something else was the reason. It's always multiple things with people, Here's what it is. She tells him if she wants to have relations with every man she meets, she can, because that's her pocketbook. And yes, so it seems as if this is, from what I'm gathering, Lorenzo's one of those guys where if I can't have you, nobody can have you. I can sit here and do whatever I want to do, but you can't do it. So yeah, I can see what she means about dictating what she does with her body and whatnot. And Lorenzo says he will let her test the waters and she'll be back. So he really does feel it's like, okay, you can come back to me anyway. He might be right, because she says something that kind of alluded to that later on. We'll get there. So Jackie, Brooke, and Jennifer, they get their pocketbooks steamed and rejuvenated. And Jen says she's ready to date and would love to be married. But she ain't had the best luck when it comes to relationships. And they did a nice little montage. So we get Malaysia and Zale. Malaysia's looking for a location for a pop-up shop for her clothing line, Vanity World 10. I mean, she has other, ventures and whatnot. I wonder if her bedding line is also going to be in this store. Like, again, we have questions. Like, because, like, do you really have these businesses, or is it just you start something every season to have a storyline? I don't know. Malaysia talks her business strategy, and saying weekly she wants to add more brands. Zale brings up Brandy since she mentioned the word brand. And Malaysia feels people are messing with her because they know she will turn up. If that is the case and you know this consciously, then you should have that in the forefront of your mind when dealing with people, where it's like, I know you're trying to get my goat, so I'm not going to give you what you want, which will further infuriate you because you're not getting what you want. Just saying. It's one thing if you don't know and you allow yourself to fall for the okie doke. It's another thing when you do know. And when you do know and you fall for it, I can't have any sympathy for you. Sorry. Let Zale and Malaysia tell it, and this is what I wrote here, so it'll be a lot of this is being readdressed in the very last scene. But Brandy and Zale were cool, and we found out. Well, I'll get there. They were cool. They had an argument, haven't talked for months, and when she arrived in LA, she DM'd him to me, and Zale said he doesn't want to be a pawn. My only thing is, where is the DM proof to show that she did do that? That's the only thing that I'm wondering. Like, because you can say it happened, but did it really happen? I don't know. So we have the mixer event. Brandy is worried to see Malaysia, which we know why. British shares that the girl Lorenzo used to date sent her a message on social media telling her that they were together. He did her wrong, won't sign paperwork because they're in a domestic partnership in California, meaning they're married but no financial ties. And Lorenzo's in a hotel. Jackie's just like, why you got him in a hotel? You know you love him. He should be there with you. And it's like, Jackie, mind your business. Okay, like she's doing what is best for her, and not having him there is establishing boundaries and not confusing him on what it is that she wants for the most part. But Jackie says she's going to get to the bottom of the British and Lorenzo situation. Again, where's your storyline? But don't be mad if British pop off on you because you're meddling in her business. And see, I'm a good tit for tat person. You messing in mine, shit, I'm messing in yours. That's just me. So we find out that Jackie invited Lorenzo. We're going to see how that pans out. Oh, actually, no, never mind. She invited him. He's there. Jennifer asked Lorenzo if he's in love with British. He can't give a quick response. She like it's a yes or no question. He says he got love for her. Jackie says y'all been together. He's taking you with him around the world. And then Lorenzo had the audacity to say, "And I raised her." I was like, you know the hell what? And obviously that was enough to get British started. She got in her bag and she snapped off on him. And he knew what he was doing. This was his way of controlling not only her but the situation. And it was very disrespectful. I didn't write down everything that she said verbatim, but she said to him, "You barely knew who you were when you met me. You ain't raised me. You barely raising your daughter." Now, right there, I was just like, well, if that wasn't a good punt to the test, I don't know what is. She says after they broke up, he got worse. He comes back when he comes back down to earth, holler at her. And that right there is like, okay, that is not over. Because if it was over, it wouldn't be no when you get your head out of the closet and when you come back to ever get a sense of reasoning, come holler at me. That it means that the door is still open, which confirms what he said. Like, I'm gonna let you do you, but you'll be back. Um See, I hate when I get lost in my notes. And I'm back. So Lorenzo leaves. Malaysian Zell enters. Brandy confirms the argument that she had with Zell, but she shares with us that he said some not so nice things about her family. Which, if that is the case, did she really DM him? Like, that is the one thing that I'm tied up on. Because if you said some not so nice things about McKinville, I'm not trying to really talk to you. Zell apologizes to Jennifer, but he says, if you got your teeth clean. I'm just like, see, you being messy. And Jen says they're good. Malaysia and Jackie go off to the side. Brandy feels Malaysia knew what she was doing bringing Zell. I would have to agree because it's not to say that it's like you're trying to make fetch happen with him. Jackie tried to make fetch happen with Nia and Naraya. It ain't happening. But if you know that this man has an issue with two people on the cast, why would you bring him around? Granted, he is more entertaining and has more substance than you, but still, why would you bring him unless you brought him with the intent of getting some stuff started? She knew what she was doing, and she can't convince me otherwise. Nevertheless, British goes over to Malaysia and tells her what Jen felt. Says that Jen feels a way about the comment and feels you brought him on purpose. Malaysia walks over to Jen, and it seemed like there was a little bit of an aggressive nature, which in this instance, since they, I guess, made up or whatever, since throwing tables and whatnot, I felt she should have pulled Jennifer to the side, but she says right then, she did not bring Zell for her or anyone. Brandy says anyone who brings Zales knows what they're doing. Now, Malaysia, you just said in the previous scene, people trying to get you to come out your body. When Brandy said what she said, you ain't even have to address it. You could have just ignored it. You chose to dive into that. So again, everything that happens after this, I don't feel bad. I really don't. Anyway, Brandy says to Malaysia, "Shut up and stop talking to me," and then she puts the finger in her face. Brandy stands up, which now the finger is more in her face, and now they both got hands in the faces. The women come in between them. Brandy and Malaysia are separated. Eventually, those two, I believe Jackie was saying there, they have a dialogue. Brandy says she knew what she was doing. Malaysia says, if you were my friend, and Brandy is like, we are not friends, and puts her whole hand, palm, in Malaysia's face. Malaysia does it back to her. It's just the whole thing. Brandy walks away. Malaysia walks in her face saying, mind your business. Brandy says, you know what's up. They break apart again. Malaysia tells Duffy she needs to, she's grown into a different person and doesn't want to fight. Duffy mentions Zale saying the spiritual things about Brandy's family. Malaysia says Brandy has been DMing him since she's been in LA. Did she tell you that? This is fake. Tell her to stop being fake. She says Brandy has been sitting in her basement for 4 years looking for a reason. I'm like, ooh, the shade. The shade of it all. And she says, I am not going to, I'm sorry. She says, I am not the reason you weren't on the show. I said episode 1, this is it. And I told y'all what it was. I told y'all what the reason was. It's just, I don't want to dig into it if we're not going to talk about it. Now, it's being talked about, just not with Brandy, but it's being brought up. I'm here for it. She says, I'm not going to stop my job because you can't keep your mouth closed. That was, and I felt that was a very honest statement that she was making, and that is truly how she felt. Whereas, like, at this particular point, it's my job, and you sitting here, you talk, and a lot of it is, the reality is, there were moments where Malaysia was hyping Brandy up to say some of the things that she was saying because Malaysia did not have the backbone to say any of that. So Brandy went and said it, and I and I can't feel bad for Brandy because you let somebody see you on a dummy, so you kind of was thrown out there and you was on the island by yourself. And Malaysia said, I tried to keep you on the show, but no one would film with you. That is a partial truth because that is true, but at the same exact time. Because what happened is Brandy had checked Shawnee O'Neal. I'm being nice today. And Shawnee did not like that. She did not like being challenged. So when she was called the B word, Shawnee decided, I'm going to go from being a castmate to being an executive producer. Thank you for your services. In essence, you're fired, right? But Shawnee did not have all of that power to up and get rid of her because there are other EPs. So they were able to be like, no, she's coming back next season because this is good TV. So what did Shawnee do? Shawnee went and told all of the women, do not shoot with her, to include Malaysia. And Malaysia had to pick a side. Either you going to not film with her and keep your job, or you going to film with her and you not going to have a job. So she was filming with her for a little bit, but slowly but surely she wasn't filming with her. So again, let's tell the truth now, Malaysia. Let's tell the truth. Talking about some no one wanted to, Malaysia said Brandy didn't want to film with her. I don't believe. I don't believe it, but I think what happened is when she finally saw that Malaysia had switched up, of course she's not going to want to film with you. Of course she's not. So Brandy pretty much says, cut the cameras, and they can, get it popping. They can get it cracking. And it's at this point that you see Malaysia smiling, and I'm thinking she's smiling, one, because she knows that they ain't finna fight, but two, is because I've now gotten her to come up out of her body. I've transferred the energy to her so I can just leave peacefully. And Malaysia says they can meet outside. Okay, well, we're going to see if they meet outside, but they probably not. But that is all that I got. It was like, I mean, the beginning was slow, but the ending was everything. And, so please pray that my technology works so y'all can come to the Citadel this evening and we can sit in the study and we can sit here and have us a nice dialogue about this, because Atlanta didn't come on last night, and maybe some trending topics. We shall see. But with that being said, everyone, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all for the next video. Or I should say tonight for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. All right, y'all. Peace out.